What is going on, my beautiful people, man? Hope you guys are having an amazing day today. In this video, what we're basically going to be talking about is being able to get being able to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And I think this is just such a powerful thing. And I really want to share this with you guys because it's something that I learned from the little meditation coach that Coach Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. And it's something that can help you really put a perspective on these uncomfortable feelings that you might be feeling in your everyday life, to help you realize that you can continue to go about life without feeling so damn bad about those things. Now here's the thing. What he basically said about this, and what we all can take from this, is he said it's not about not having tension in your life, not having things that make you feel tense, not having things that are uncomfortable, but being comfortable with the uncomfortable. Y'all get what he's saying here? He's saying being comfortable, being in that situation that gets that tension rising in your body. Now that is just so powerful, because for me, it was always like, I had a little bit of not even with the uncomfortable situations, but with the uncomfortable feelings that some situations would create, which are anxiety, stress, insecurity, jealousy, negativity, whatever it might be. When I would feel those things and I would feel that stuff, I did not like that. I felt like I'm trying to get to a place of perfect peace, perfect joy, perfect love. And I didn't want to feel that stuff. And it made it very hard for me, because it was just like, I couldn't go out there and do certain things because I was worried about having that potentially happening. It wasn't the fact of doing the thing. It was the fact of what it might happen, what it might create within me. And now if we can get to a ability to not fear that thing, not even to not fear it completely, because fear is a normal thing, but maybe we can get to that eventually, but being able to slowly remove the fear of that, all of a sudden we're able to walk about anywhere we want. And I think that's so powerful. So a lot of the times, like for myself, what I would feel with this is, it would be like a situation where I would, like, you're going out, you're doing something, and all of a sudden you start thinking too much about something and you get a little bit anxious, you get a little bit stressed, you start thinking about yourself. Something happens like that and it's not very comfortable, and all of a sudden or something happens to you that you're thinking about. Maybe you're not looking good that day, and all of a sudden you go out and all of a sudden you're only thinking about that, and it's just there. And that feeling is so uncomfortable, and it's just like, it gets more and more uncomfortable, because it's just like you dive deeper and deeper into that, because it's like, oh, you were thinking about it. Now that you're thinking about it, you can't actually say stuff because you're in your head, and it's just like boom, boom, boom. And it's like terrible. Walk with me, please. Walk with me. I'm going to go get some water while we walk. But for me, that used to be so, like, I didn't want to go into those situations, or it was like so hard for me to go into those situations because of that. And now learning about this stuff and learning about all this, what I've realized is that Jesus and God makes us comfortable with the uncomfortable. It's not that we're going to get to a perfect place of like having no tension and no uncomfortability, no nothing like that. But it's the fact that he can be with us even in there. There's a verse that says, cast all your burdens onto him, for he will sustain you. And that is so powerful for me, man. Yeah, that's so powerful for me. And I know it can be powerful for you guys too. But it's knowing that you can go into that situation, you can still feel that anxiety, you can still feel that stress, you can still feel the uncomfortability of certain situations, but you're still going knowing that God is with you. It's like an awareness of God in the background, the closer that you get to him. And for me, this really showed up. It's really showed up in a situation where I was going into a dinner with my girl and her family, and she said something to me. She said a little thing, and it was just like a passing comment. I don't really think that she was meaning to mean anything by it. I really don't know. I haven't had a chance to talk to her about it. But like, it was like just a passing comment, and I was like, okay. It got into my head, and I was feeling real good before that. I was feeling real good, real excited, and it got into my head and it sunk in there, and it was just like really deep in there. And I was like, oh no. I knew, like, this is something here, like, where it's just like, I was feeling so good. You know the feeling where you're about to go into a situation, like to talk with people, to be with people, and you're just feeling so good that you know it's just gonna go amazing, just because it's like, I just got this amazing energy right now. I got this amazing energy. I could just do anything. And I was feeling that, but then all of a sudden this got in there, and it was like a freaking infestation of a mite or something, and it got in there, and it was just like, it was eating away, and it was like taking me into there, and the thoughts were going into that. Like, what did she mean by that? Why did she say that? And like the insecurity rose up. The insecurity rose up that I've been like working so hard to, working so hard to get to this place where this stuff doesn't affect me, this stuff doesn't faze me. And it was it was crazy because it was just like, okay, damn, that's there. And I know it's there. But it was way different than I would have approached it in the past, because in the past I would have been like, nope, I don't want to be here. Like, this freaking sucks. This is terrible. This is the worst thing in the world. I'm going to just like dive into this deeper, and I'm just going to like, I don't know what how that would have gone. I would have been it just would have been terrible. But this time I'm like, okay, I have things. I have God with me. I have things that I've been working on to get me into being able to handle this. I don't want to fear this. This is something that I'm like, almost, it was a little bit excited about, because like, oh, okay, like how am I going to get through this? Now, it was like real, it was real there. But it's like I have verses that I was calling on to help me in this moment be okay with the fact that I was uncomfortable. Not saying that I'm not going to be uncomfortable. That's the thing that was powerful for me. Not saying that I wasn't going to be uncomfortable, and it was going to be something where reciting these verses was instantly going to make me comfortable and at that peace or at that joy and at that love. But the fact that I'm like, okay, this is the hand that I've been dealt right now. This is the hand, and I'm going to accept what is that has been given to me by God. I'm going to go into here and just be my best, and try to be the best, or be my best that I can. And it was hard because you want to be there and connecting with her and her family, but then when you get in your head, it becomes a little bit tough. It becomes a little bit tough to like, you just get in your head, and it's not like you're not as open, you're not as like just having fun, being able to let go. But I'm like, okay, I know that that's there, and if I start thinking about that, then all of a sudden it's gonna get worse. So I just start thinking about like, okay, like I'm just gonna be here. I'm just gonna be here as much as I can. I'm like, that thought is still there. The thing that she had said is still there. I'm a little bit upset about it. It's still there. But it's like, okay, I could just continue to be here. I'm just there. I'm chilling. I don't got to be nothing more than I am right now. And I'm just being able to be there in that uncomfortable situation, being comfortable in the uncomfortable situation. Now, it was very uncomfortable. There was times where I was like, damn, like this is like, oh, this is really like, I don't like this right now. I really don't like this right now. And I'm not saying it's like, oh, I'm just so comfortable in the uncomfortable situation, but it was more so like, okay, I can accept this uncomfortable situation. I'm trying to go into it. Now, this is one of my growing experiences with this. Of course, I still have a lot more to grow with this, but it was just so powerful to know that God was with me there as much as He is with any of us in any of the situations that we're in. And the fact that, I went through that, and it went pretty good. I was still had to be able to get it out of trying my best to get out of my mind, or just be in the moment and say, okay, we'll talk about this after, or we'll talk about this later, whatever it might be. And that was something I would have not been able to do like that in the past. And it's just so powerful, because now it's like, okay, if I can do it there, I thought I was going to have an easy hand this day. It was going to be amazing. It's going to be just so easy. But it's like, okay, I got dealt this. And if I can be able to still, go in there, have a great time and function and do that stuff, even when it's uncomfortable, I don't have to fear that happening later on. The next time that I'm going into a spot and somebody says something that gets deep into my mind, it's not like, oh, like, shoot, like, oh, like I need to like go back home, and I need to like, I can't do this. No, I can still go into that and function and still be able to try to be my best. You know what I'm saying? And that little experience helped me not fear this as much. Of course it sucks, and it was like whatever, but that can be something so powerful for all of us. Anytime that we feel that uncomfortability, knowing that it's powerful if we can still go about what we are trying to do with that uncomfortability. If you're an athlete and you're trying to grow in terms of you got an injury, you got this thing going on, or maybe you got some stuff going on at home, if you can go into a game and still be able to say, I'm going to try my best to be in the moment. This stuff is here and it is affecting me, or it is there and it is affecting me, but you can still try to be in the moment. A lot of the times, even that meditation coach talked about, that can actually help you get deeper into the flow state. Now, of course, for me, I wasn't able to get super much into the flow state because it was so much of it was really getting to me in the moment. But I know in the past, and now that I've had an experience, now I know I'm going to be able to do that a little bit better next time. You know what I'm saying? And the meditation coach was saying that, like with Michael Jordan in the flu game, when he had the flu game, he had the freaking flu, but he was still able to go out there, and he actually got into a deep flow state because he was just able to allow himself to get into that, allow himself to push it out and be like, okay, I'm going to try my best to be up in here and get into the flow state. So that's something powerful for every single damn one of us, every single day when we're dealing with this stuff. And if you're dealing with something right now, man, I hope you're able to fight it, not even fight it, but be able to accept it, and be able to be in the moment as best as you possibly can, and be able to surrender to what God has put into your path, whether that's struggle, whether that's something that's going to get into deep in your mind, whether that's just a super uncomfortable spot or a struggle. And it just goes for anything that you might be dealing with that is that. And all of a sudden we start to get more comfortable with that uncomfortable. And that's what the meditation coach for Michael Jordan and Kobe says makes great people, says that makes the greats of the greats. He says, if you ain't got no struggle, you ain't got no swag. It's as simple as that. That's what he was saying about it. And it's so funny when you think about it like that. If you ain't got no struggle, you ain't got no swag. But if you can get some struggle and you can be able to maintain and continue to go through it over and over, all of a sudden you get more and more swag. All of a sudden you get better and better at handling it. And you ain't fearing nothing that's coming up in your way. So let's continue to do that today, man. Hope you guys are doing that today. Love you guys very much. Say goodbye to my cat. Love you guys very much. Alright, she's ignoring you guys right now. But I love you guys very much, man. Peace.